Welcome back to the channel, all of my Sofi hodlers. Sofi got spanked into the ground today because of Affirm, the Fed, and inflation. So that's what we're going to get into here in this video. I do want you guys to know, I know some people click off these videos as soon as the first 30 seconds are in. They miss out on all of the key information. But I want to point out that institutional investors are very, very bullish on Sofi with the option order flow for today at 99% bullish. You cannot find another stock that is 99% bullish on the option order flows, or even 100% for the past week now. Even on red days, institutional investors are loading up on calls for Sofi. So there's a lot we need to get into. The 13F filings, we got to go over the short interest, the technical analysis, what is going to happen next for Sofi. So if you guys find entertainment or education out of this video, hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all of the future videos that come out here on this channel. And also comment down below, what is your price target for earnings? Now, let's dive into this video. So Sofi was down 3.65% today in regular trading, and then down 2 pennies or 0.16% in after hours. And I'm going to give it to you guys straight. So Sofi was doing great today. Hit $13.41 at the peak. When we opened today, we gapped down to about $12.29 per share. So that was over a $1.20 round trip from bottom to the top. What happened right here was Fed Bullard came out and said that he would hope and support the Fed raising rates to 1% by July. That's what markets have been pricing in. If you guys go to fedfuturesratemonitortool.com, you will see exactly what the markets are pricing in. I just decided to pull it up for you guys. So type in Fed Rate Monitor Tool and you guys can see that 89.9% of investors expect interest rates to go to 0.5 to 0.75% by March 16th. By May 4th, investors are projecting interest rates to be in between 0.75% and 1%. Also 89.9% of investors. By June 15th, 89.9% of investors expect in between 1 and 1.25% for the federal funds rate. And it goes on and on and on and just keeps going up higher and higher and higher. And the markets weren't reacting this whole time. This had been happening all day, but it wasn't till Fed Bullard actually came out and said this publicly that you did see that first drawdown in Sofi right here, as well as the S&P 500. That was this big candle, and you dropped almost 0.5%, 0.41% to be more precise, when that announcement came out, once that headline started to circulate. And like I said, he calls for a big hike in interest rates to fight inflation. There was also something that hit the newswire that was very interesting that did suggest or support, whatever word you want to say, that the Fed might come out and do an emergency rate hike increase either tomorrow or on Monday, which is very rare. And whenever that happens, the markets drop substantially. But I think the Fed realizes they're behind the curve, and if the economy does slow down, the tool to prop the economy up is for the Fed to cut rates. If the rates are not at 2, 3, 4% already, once the economy slows down towards the second half of 2022, if they have to stimulate, they're not going to be able to, because inflation will be high, interest rates will be low as the economy is slowing down. Hopefully this is making some sense to you guys. If they do aggressively raise rates, at least they will be able to cut rates to support the economy if it does start to slow down in a substantial way. So that's really what caused that first market drop. And what caused the big drop right here for Sofi, when you did see a lot of sell orders coming through, all of these red candles, I mean, this must have been 15 minutes of just red candles. The stock going down for probably 15 to 20 minutes right here. It was pretty bloody. It was Affirm's earnings were leaked, and Affirm got destroyed today. And all fintech companies, especially companies that have buy now pay later subsidiaries, or if that, just the main company like Square, PayPal, they both got destroyed as well, because Square owns Afterpay and PayPal does buy now, pay later itself. And as you guys can see with Affirm, they dropped 21.5% and now down 2% in after hours as their earnings call is going on right now. So that definitely helped to hurt Sofi, going from $83 to $50. They actually dropped about 34% at the lowest point today. So that's obviously not a good thing for Sofi. But let's dive into the data that you guys need to know. So for Sofi, as far as the institutional order flows are concerned, you can see that the positive order value for the day is 99%. You had 9 institutional orders totaling $11 million. Yesterday, the positive order value was 100%. And you had 6 orders totaling $519,000. And over the past week, you have had 60 orders totaling $41.79 million, positive order value of 88%. So I still cannot find a more bullish stock that institutional investors have a higher positive order value rate than what we see on Sofi. Over the past week, 88%. You can't find that on any other stock. So the fact that a lot of institutions are loading up on Sofi is definitely a good thing in my personal opinion. You can see right here, January 20th, 2023, 2250 calls, and they did spend $837,000 on that order. But you do see a lot of 1750 calls as well as a lot of $15 and $10 calls as well that are expiring. A lot of these around July. So that's really what you guys need to know from that. Incredibly bullish. As far as the short interest, 20.31%. Current shares that are sold short, 125.52 million. Cost to borrow max of 1.21%. Share utilization of 93.94%. And days to cover at 2.84 days to cover. Why I like to talk about this is because while Sofi is not a short squeeze trade, they have been getting a lot of attention. Earnings should be good. And if you see positive earnings, you obviously know that institutions like the stock, or they wouldn't be buying all of these calls, and all of that short interest can add up to a bigger move after earnings or whenever a positive catalyst does come out. And I'm sure we will have some positive news because, I mean, Sofi is getting a lot of attention like we went over in the last video with their Google trends being at their highest levels ever. Never had more Google searches for Sofi because of the Super Bowl. So that should probably give Sofi some pretty good guidance to go off of. As far as Sofi and the 13F filings that are coming out, we will go ahead and pull this up really quick. Institutional owners. And we could see about 66.95% of shares are owned by institutional investors. And the red lines that you're seeing right here, the 1, 2, 3, 4, one of these is a call. But these are small positions overall. It's not large positions that people are selling. And you guys can see 93% increase to this position, about 700,000 shares that were bought right there, 6,000 shares bought right there, 30,000 right there. Just incredibly bullish overall. Not too much red, and the red that you do see, like I said, are a lot of puts and calls that are being closed out of, as well as a lot of small positions, while you see the green and the white of firms adding to their positions in substantial ways and quantities. I mean, some of these positions are in the millions of shares that some of these firms have added to in the past quarter. So looking good in that aspect. You're definitely getting Sofi at a bit of a steal at the current moment. And a quick look at the technical analysis. I know a lot of this is probably not going to matter if the markets continue to sell off or rally. I mean, it's probably not going to matter all too much, just depending on what the Fed does. But as far as the resistance, you're looking at about $14 right now. And I like to pull up the Bollinger Bands. And that's basically 2 standard deviations away from the price of the stock. And the 20-day simple moving average is this blue line in the middle, and that does tend, as you guys can see, to be either support and resistance, whether you're above or below this blue line. And what we can see right now, it looks to be still some resistance. I thought for sure we were going to see another, good day today. And if we had seen a positive day today, this would have more than likely turned into support, as we were far above this 20-day simple moving average. Now we're below, so it looks like it might be a little bit of resistance until we do get an uptick in the markets, and specifically with SoFi. Overall, volume is still elevated to extreme levels, higher than we have ever been consistently over the past month, almost the past month, since really January 18th. So that's basically what you guys need to know from that. It's looking good. You're buying SoFi at the bottom of the barrel, and even if the markets do continue to sell off, to a certain extent, the stocks that are down, like SoFi, from $25 per share down to $12 per share, it's only going to sell off so much. So keep that in mind. As far as my actual position, that's the last thing that I do want to go over with you guys, and then we will go ahead and wrap up this video and get you guys on with your day. My SoFi position is $4,932 of market value, down about $1,500 or 23%. Average cost $16.01. 400 shares at 11.15%. This is a long-term buy and hold for me. I have no plans on selling anything out anytime soon. And I was up a lot more on these contracts earlier. They were $200 a piece, so I dropped about $170 in value on these options today because of freaking Affirm, man. Come on, Affirm, you dropped the ball on us. But I'm still up about 8%, $32 on these 3 contracts. Bought them for $134, currently worth $145 for March 18th, and this will cover earnings. And the logic here is I get more exposure to the upside with SoFi because I have high conviction it will be bullish. I'm not telling you guys to buy that. I personally wouldn't buy that if I went back, but since I have them, I'm just gonna let them ride. As far as earnings, that does come on March 1st. So we're going to get some good announcements. We're going to see the price of the stock going up, in my personal opinion, never financial advice, but I think it is going to be very good, and I think you will be rewarded as SoFi shareholders. So that is going to be all for this video. If you guys found education, if not simply entertainment, out of this video, hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, as well as comment down below what is your thoughts for earnings and in the markets in general heading into the next couple of weeks. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.